So we brought you the story a couple of weeks ago going over First Brands and how they have declared bankruptcy with billions of dollars in debt. Now, of course, the process of going through a company that has gone through bankruptcy is a rather complicated one. But basically, the creditors, the people that they owe these billions of dollars of money to, they basically have to see all the assets on there. They have to go all through the finances and everything like that. And sometimes some interesting stuff gets discovered because the creditors are demanding an explanation for why some money has just disappeared. Completely just vanished into thin air. I mean, this sort of stuff happens quite a lot. You know, there's a reason why these companies go out of business, you know. They're not the most responsible with the money they've got. They fall on hard times. Sometimes it's their fault, sometimes it's not, you know. Happens for all kinds of reasons. But yeah, money disappearing. That sounds rather convenient, doesn't it, for the people who may or may not have that money now. But let's have a look at the full story here, guys, on the channel as always. Since it filed for bankruptcy on the 29th of September, auto parts supplier First Brands has come under intense scrutiny for alleged accounting malpractice, opaque financial agreements, and late payments to suppliers. In an effort to shed light into the company's murky finances, one of First Brands' largest creditors filed an emergency motion in bankruptcy court on Wednesday this week, calling for an independent investigation into the beleaguered firm's books. As much as $2.3 billion in short-term financing has simply vanished, according to Richard Jacobson, who is the counsel for Rainstone, which is a fund that is partly owned by O'Connor, a UBS hedge fund. Raystone said that it was owed $172 million at least, and that is just one of many, many creditors involved in this, no doubt. The Department of Justice also opened an inquiry into the collapse, the Financial Times reported on Thursday of this week. For years, First Brands had received funding through a short-term lending strategy known as factoring. After the supplier delivered products to customers including Walmart and O'Reilly Auto Parts, it sold the rights to the customer invoices to outside investors, including units of UBS and Jefferies. The arrangement allowed First Brands to receive cash up front, smoothing its inflows while giving lenders the opportunity to earn interest. Factoring, which is part of a broader credit strategy known as trade financing, is not unusual. However, First Brands allegedly borrowed billions of dollars of short-term loans, with much of the money kept off balance sheets through a network of separate corporate entities. No paper trail then. Nice. It may have also sold certain invoices more than once, according to court filings and transcripts. First Brands' spiral into bankruptcy was triggered in mid-September when it stopped forwarding some of the cash it received to customers of its factoring investors. When asked in court on October 1st where roughly $2 billion of factoring cash was located, Sunny Singh, who is a lawyer for First Brands, said, quote, "It's not here. We don't have it. $0. There's $12 million in the bank account today. That is it. There is nothing else." End quote. The following day, Raystone lawyer Emmanuel Grillo wrote to First Banks to inquire whether the bankrupt firm had actually received $1.9 billion from customers that was owed to creditors. Singh responded, quote, "We don't know." End quote. In its motion, Raystone asked the court to appoint an independent examiner to look into the firm's books and locate the missing billions in factoring payments. In most US bankruptcies, the court allows the bankrupt company to direct the case. First Brands has appointed 2 independent directors to investigate its finances, and its original management team remains in place, but Raystone argued that the examiners needed to be externally appointed in order to ensure that the investigation was thorough and impartial. In a court hearing on October 1st to arrange a rescue loan to keep First Brands operating through bankruptcy, Scott Greenberg, who was a lawyer for the emergency lenders, said, quote, "The firm was effectively in a black box. There's just a lot we don't know, to put it bluntly." End quote. So, where is the money? Well, we don't know, as simple as that. But we can have a few guesses here. But I'll let you guess that in the comments below, guys. Where do you think that money has gone? Has it gone to the board members, the directors of the company, or has it ended up somewhere else? Again, we don't know, but it sure is a strange story for you here on the Motoring Chronicle, guys. So yeah, get your thoughts in the comments below. I'm sure you got plenty of them about this. Like, share, comment, subscribe. As always, guys, have a fantastic day wherever you are in the world today, and we'll see you very soon.